from The Sun this morning. This is quite a difficult story for me because I'd rather not look at David Cameron at all, much least in a relaxed and family atmosphere, but he seems to think that's what the viewers of ITV News would like to see. That's him giving breakfast. Yes, he can actually open a box of Shreddies, Cheerios or any other breakfast cereal for his small people, and there's his wife, whatever she's called, totting around in the background as well. And I really think that there is
a big fan,
I'm not a fan, and I'm not a fan of politicians using their children. I think it's great to acknowledge that they have families, of course, and it's ridiculous that in the olden days politicians were almost seen as isolated, alone.
To see a potential future Prime Minister with his son who has cerebral palsy going on TV, portraying himself, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I find it quite endearing that he actually looks relatively normal.
So what, as Ed Balls might possibly have said. I'm not sure. And I think, you know, I really respect Gordon Brown's decision not to talk about his son.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously, he's going to... I know from meeting Sarah Brown that they will be doing a lot for the charities concerned with their son's illness, and I think that's the right way to go around it. And I think you only have to look at what happened to the Blair children.
Can we come round your house, George, and have a look what it's like?
Yeah, anytime.
What do you think, sir? I mean, this is... Because it is a dangerous precedent to start bringing family in. I will totally accept that point.
It's living by the sword and perhaps dying by it. I mean, if, God forbid, and I'm sure it's not true, David Cameron ever turned out to be not quite the family man, then that would be extremely damaging. But I fear that Janet, for the first time this week, I disagree with her. I fear she's wrong. I think that this is very powerful propaganda for David Cameron.
Powerful, but is it the right thing to do?
Well, it's a dangerous thing to do, but assuming everything else is tika-leak in his life, assuming that, this is very, very powerful propaganda.
But at what stage does it stop? Because these are small kids who are pretty much unaware of the fact there's a crew in, they're getting ready for school or whatever, and in a couple of cases not at school at all. But at what stage do you stop then, having opened up the cameras to your privacy?
See, I think the country thinks Gordon Brown is buttoned up, free Presbyterian and not quite like us, while Cameron is coming across more and more like, you know, the guy next door.
It's funny, though, isn't it?
Albeit the guy next door in Notting Hill.
The Blue Rinse Brigade...
In a £1 billion
I was going to say,
house.
the Blue Rinse Brigade that my mum knows down in Sussex, they think he's a communist.
His house in Notting Hill is only £1 million. What a crappy place that must be. He needs an allowance.
He needs an allowance, yeah. You could have Georgie's.
Come on, we're going to run out of time.
I don't care.
We must get mine.
Yeah, Georgie's is going free, so you could have that on a similar tone. And the Tories are proposing to give flexible extended parental leave should they get into power. Of course, on paper...
What about some leave for those of us who aren't cluttering the planet up? I mean, when do I get a break?
On paper, of course, this is a wonderful scheme that you could have altogether a year of parental leave for both sides. You know, you could take it either together as a 6-month lump or you could split it up. The trouble is, I don't think employment in this country keeps up with that, certainly the employment of women. And I think women who are probably about to have babies are discriminated against. I think this will make it worse. We need to catch up first. Speaking of women giving birth, from The Independent, apparently women believe that giving birth is going to be largely pain-free and rather idyllic.
They'll believe anything, won't they?
Yeah,
of course, I love you.
A useful survey from the Newcastle University's Department of Public Health would like them to acknowledge
it won't hurt whatsoever.
But you know, there is a grain of truth in this, because I think that there is the sort of idea of giving birth without any help, without any medicine, you know, somehow you get a certificate to hang on the pram. You know, I did all this myself. So long as there's a healthy baby, it doesn't matter how it arrived in the world, and I'm all in favour of as much medical intervention as possible.
Nicely done. George, what have you got, sir?
Well, The Independent, as I predicted yesterday on this show, the young Iranian that we were going to deport back to a place that doesn't like gay people very much has been saved. And I knew he would be, as I predicted here yesterday, because this is a useful story for the war propaganda machine. The khaki machine now taking on a tinge of pink and becoming all gay-friendly, even though, of course, if they bomb Iran, they'll be killing gay people as well as straight people.
Yeah, no, because you've had Peter Tatchell of Outrage has been outraged by you and your comments yesterday, saying that they don't hang people in Iran
for being gay,
but for committing sex crimes against young men, which is...
Well, that's what happened.
Is that not an interpretation?
Well, no. I mean, I think the truth is that many religions, all religions probably, and many countries are against gay people. I'm not myself, of course, as my record shows. What I can't accept is the propaganda that says you get hanged for being gay in Iran. You don't. John Simpson of the BBC, 2 nights ago on the 10 o'clock news, was stood in the main square in Tehran, which is where gay people meet each other. And the BBC filmed them making trysts and going off together.
But in the smaller towns in Iran, they are persecuted, and those 2 boys were hung for being gay. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, they so weren't, but I know why you said that, and I knew you were going to say it. But the reality is, oppression of gay people is true in Texas, it's true in Tokyo,
But they're not all strung
it's
up.
true in
like
Tunbridge
that.
Wells, and it's true in Tehran, because all religions and all societies are discriminate against gay people.
but
and
Except
other
the
people
Quakers. The
of
Quakers
difference.
don't. Not all religions do.
Well, the Quaker's not a religion. It's a brand of the Christian religion, if you want to be pedantic. But what I will not accept is people being used, as Tatchell is, as the pink end of the khaki war machine. That's what Peter Tatchell has become by attacking
Listen,
Iran in the way that he does.
I don't think this is fair unless we get Peter here as well to say his piece, which we were going to do when we thought we might have a discussion here. But seeing as the guy is actually not being sent to Iran, we thought there might be some other issues to go to. Clearly controversial area. Thank you for that, George. Anything else in the papers? What else?
Well, home is the best place to learn about drink.
It's cheaper, isn't it?
Parents are told, according to the Daily Mail. Yeah, although, I mean, it's only yesterday we were being told that parents were irresponsibly feeding drink to their children at too young an age in an attempt to, you know, acclimatise them to it. Home is certainly the place where I learned that drink was a bad thing.
Because you don't drink, said you don't
I
drink
don't
out of
drink.
choice.
I never have, and my father didn't before me. And in fact, he used to drag us to the window to look at the drunk men weaving their way home.
Well,
and
so
say,
you don't have a telly then,
you
did
don't
you?
want to end up. You don't want to end up like that. And then I didn't have a parliamentary
One
allowance
day,
for a
George, you'll get
television.
22 grand and you can buy your own telly. In the meantime, laugh at them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, listen, we've overrun a bit. I better draw a line under there. Lots of other good stories around there. Kids want to be posh and Becks, but I think we all knew that. So let's crack on to our first talking point after the ads.